This is a live look at Capitol Hill, where pressure is mounting on lawmakers to find common ground in bipartisan talks on gun control. Soon, the Senate Judiciary Committee will hear from Garnell Whitfield. His mother was killed in that mass shooting at that Buffalo grocery store.
Also in Washington, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords is set to open a gun violence memorial on the National Mall. It is her first public appearance since the Uvalde shooting. Congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is on Capitol Hill with an update on how talks are progressing. Scott, good morning.
Hey, Vlad. 4 bipartisan Senate group members continued their talks into the night last night, trying to find a compromise on gun bills that would include mental health provisions and possibly some school safety provisions. That's where things stand last night. But today, some of the relatives of shooting victims come to the Capitol trying to give these negotiations a nudge. After another violent weekend in America, there's mounting pressure for action on gun laws in the Senate.
Senators, please act. Don't look away. Don't look away.
Students wearing bulletproof vests also urge lawmakers in their second week of negotiations to pass stronger gun laws.
This country cannot look away as our schools and our neighborhoods become killing fields.
Connecticut Democrat Chris Murphy, who is leading the bipartisan discussion, says he's optimistic, while Texas Republican John Cornyn laid down a series of red lines on the Senate floor.
We're not talking about banning a category of weapons across the board.
I'm trying to make clear that I'm not going to do anything that violates anybody's Second Amendment rights.
Possible areas of agreement could include helping states enact or improve their red flag laws, which allow courts to seize guns from anyone deemed dangerous, as well as taking mental health measures and increasing school safety funding. Actor Matthew McConaughey, who's from Uvalde, Texas, joined the calls for stronger legislation Monday on Capitol Hill. In an op-ed on gun reform, he called for greater background checks and raising the age to buy an assault rifle to 21. Saying, "I believe that responsible, law-abiding Americans have a Second Amendment right to bear arms. I also believe we have a cultural obligation to take steps towards slowing down the senseless killing of our children."
What are we supposed to do with all of this anger, with all of this pain?
This morning, Garnell Whitfield Jr. will appear before senators. His mother, Ruth, was killed in the shooting rampage at the Buffalo Tops grocery store.
We hope in some small way to contribute to some positive change, to take this anger and this hole in our hearts and make sure it doesn't happen to somebody else.
Some states aren't waiting for Congress to move. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, about 3 weeks after the Buffalo shooting, has just signed a slew of gun control measures into law, including one that would raise the age for purchasing some semi-automatic rifles from 18 to 21. The governors of New Jersey and Delaware want their state legislatures to pass similar bills for their signatures. Anne-Marie, Vlad.
So, Scott, let's talk a little bit about this group of bipartisan senators. They seem to be indicating that they are progressing, that they are finding common ground. Of course, that doesn't mean that, everything can move on to the greater Senate and, it all pass. But where do things stand with that?
Well, they disagree on the timing of all this. The Democratic lead in this group, Chris Murphy of Connecticut, had told me they hope to have something on the table by the end of this week. Then Texas Republican John Cornyn, the lead Republican in the group, said it's likely going to be next week at the soonest. There seems to be agreement, though, among them that they do have to move swiftly. The longer legislation hangs out there and dangles in general, the more at risk it is of stalling or atrophying. So there's some urgency. It's just a matter of how much urgency.
So one of the issues, Scott, as you know, that Congress is looking at are these so-called red flag laws. And you've done some reporting on how those laws are working in the United States. What have you learned?
To be clear, this is the most likely pathway a bipartisan group would take. Federal support for more states to enact or implement red flag laws. What's a red flag law? Under a red flag law, a court can order guns seized from somebody who's deemed to be dangerous. 19 states and the District of Columbia have those laws already, but they have different levels of success in implementing the laws. According to our CBS News review of public records, there have been thousands of emergency orders under the Florida red flag law, hundreds of them in each state between Maryland, New York, and New Jersey. But in Illinois, where they passed the law years ago, Only dozens of red flag emergency orders have been issued, and state legislators tell CBS News they are not properly implementing the law.
Implementation is critical to saving lives, and this is a tool that people need to know that they have at their disposal. And if you don't use it, if it's underutilized, it's a big problem because we won't be able to prevent those gun tragedies.
So in Illinois, they've passed a $1 million bill to help fund awareness campaigns about the state red flag law, hoping to raise awareness among other people, Vlad and Anne-Marie, about police who may request those orders be issued.
That's important information to have. You know, often people don't know what to do when they notice something's a little bit off. Scott, thank you very much.